Ladies and gentlemen, there's a power that comes with silence, a power most people overlook. In our daily interactions, we're bound to situations or individuals that test our patience, challenge our peace, and sometimes threaten our growth. The question is, how do you respond? It's tempting to react, to clap back, to defend yourself, or to engage in arguments to prove a point. But let me tell you this, the strongest person in the room is not the loudest, it's the one who knows when to stay silent and walk away. Silence is often misunderstood as a sign of weakness, but in reality, it is one of the greatest strengths a person can possess. In a world that constantly demands reactions, where every situation seems to call for a quick reply, a defense, or a counter-argument, choosing not to react sets you apart. It demonstrates a profound sense of emotional maturity and self-control, qualities that are rare but powerful. When faced with negativity, conflict, or provocation, the natural instinct is to respond, to fight back, or to defend yourself. But reacting in the heat of the moment often leads to regret and escalation, pulling you into a cycle of chaos that benefits no one. To remain silent in the face of provocation is not to accept defeat or surrender. It is to take charge of the situation in a way that preserves your dignity and peace. Silence is a choice, a deliberate decision to rise above the noise. It says, without words, that you refuse to allow someone else's actions or words to dictate your emotions. It's an assertion of your independence, a way of saying, I control my life and no one else has the power to disrupt it. This kind of self-mastery is incredibly empowering because it allows you to stay focused on what truly matters. Choosing silence also sends a clear message. It shows that you are not easily rattled, that you value your energy too much to waste it on trivial conflicts. There's an elegance in this restraint, a quiet confidence that speaks louder than words. When someone expects a reaction and receives none, it disrupts their expectations. It leaves them to deal with their own negativity while you remain unbothered and focused. This can be especially effective in situations involving toxic individuals who thrive on drama and attention. By refusing to engage, you deny them the satisfaction they seek, and in doing so, you maintain control over the interaction. Another important aspect of silence is its role in de-escalation. In moments of conflict, words can become weapons, and the wrong ones can cause irreparable damage. By staying silent, you avoid saying something you might later regret. Silence provides space for reflection, allowing you to assess the situation calmly and make thoughtful decisions. It's a pause that prevents impulsive reactions and fosters clarity. This is not to say that silence is always the answer. There are times when speaking up is necessary and right. But in situations where reacting would only fuel the fire, silence is a powerful alternative. Cutting someone off silently takes this principle one step further. It's about recognizing when a relationship, conversation, or situation is no longer worth your time and energy. It's about prioritizing your peace and walking away without drama or confrontation. This doesn't mean you're running away or avoiding issues. It means you've made a conscious decision to protect yourself. Not everyone deserves access to you, and not everyone deserves an explanation. When you cut someone off silently, you're not only removing their influence from your life, but also setting a boundary that ensures your well-being. The beauty of this approach is that it leaves no room for further conflict. It's a clean break, a way of saying, I'm done, without engaging in a back and forth that drains you emotionally. It's a way of reclaiming your power and channeling it toward more meaningful and productive endeavors. This is where the real strength lies, in your ability to prioritize your growth and peace over the temporary satisfaction of a reaction. In the end, silence is not about suppressing your feelings or avoiding confrontation. It's about choosing your battles wisely and preserving your energy for what truly matters. When you master the art of silence, you not only protect your peace, but also command respect, both from others and from yourself. Silence, when used intentionally, is one of the greatest tools for maintaining balance and control in your life. So the next time you're tempted to react, pause. Remember the power of silence and let it speak for you. Negativity has a way of pulling us into its vortex, consuming our energy and derailing our focus. When someone throws negativity your way, whether it's through criticism, conflict, or outright hostility, it can be tempting to respond. After all, reacting feels like the natural way to defend yourself, to stand your ground, or to set the record straight. But what many fail to realize is that reacting doesn't resolve the situation. More often than not, it fuels the fire, intensifying the negativity and giving it a life of its own. Negativity thrives on attention. It feeds on the energy you give it, growing stronger with every word, every retort, and every emotional reaction. Think about it. When someone is argumentative or confrontational, they're usually looking for a reaction. They want to provoke you, to draw you into their chaos. And when you react, you give them exactly what they're looking for. You validate their behavior, proving that they have the power to disrupt your peace. In doing so, you hand over control of your emotions, allowing someone else to dictate how you feel and respond. By refusing to react, you take that power back. You send a clear message: you don't have control over me. Your negativity stops here. This doesn't mean you're ignoring the problem or pretending it doesn't exist. It means you're choosing not to engage on their terms. It's a decision to rise above the situation and protect your peace. And this is where silence becomes your greatest ally. Silence is a powerful response because it disrupts the cycle of negativity. It creates a space where the other person's energy dissipates, unable to feed off of your reaction. Choosing not to react also forces the other person to confront their behavior. Without your response to fuel the interaction, they're left to deal with their own words and actions. This can be incredibly disarming for someone who thrives on conflict. They expect resistance, a counter-argument, or at least a visible sign of irritation. When they're met with silence, it can leave them feeling unsettled and reflective. Your lack of reaction becomes a mirror, reflecting their negativity back at them without giving it a place to land. This doesn't mean staying silent is easy. It takes strength to resist the urge to defend yourself or to lash out when provoked. It takes discipline to remain calm when someone is trying to push your buttons. But the rewards are worth it. By refusing to engage, you maintain your emotional balance and preserve your energy for things that truly matter. You also set a boundary, showing that you will not allow yourself to be drawn into unnecessary drama. It's important to remember that not every situation requires your input, and not every battle is worth fighting. Some things are best left alone, not because you're afraid to address them, but because addressing them adds no value to your life. When you react to negativity, you risk becoming entangled in a situation that drains your energy and distracts you from your goals. But when you choose not to react, you free yourself from that burden. You allow the negativity to pass by like a storm that loses its power when it doesn't find resistance. Cutting off negativity silently is an extension of this principle. When you identify individuals or situations that consistently bring negativity into your life, the best response is often to disengage completely. This doesn't require a confrontation or an explanation. It's a quiet decision to remove yourself from the source of negativity and focus on your growth. By cutting off negative influences, you create space for positivity, clarity, and progress. In the end, avoiding the temptation to react isn't about ignoring problems or avoiding conflict. It's about choosing your battles wisely and protecting your peace. It's about recognizing that your energy is precious and refusing to waste it on negativity that adds no value to your life. So the next time negativity comes your way, pause, choose silence over reaction, and watch how your decision transforms the situation in your life. Actions have always spoken louder than words. When faced with negativity, conflict, or disrespect, the most impactful response is often not what you say, but what you choose to do or not do. Words can sometimes lose their weight, especially when used in the heat of the moment, but actions carry a lasting message. The way you conduct yourself, the decisions you make, and the boundaries you set can communicate far more than any verbal exchange ever could. When someone tries to provoke you, they expect a reaction. They expect words, maybe defensive, maybe angry, but words nonetheless. A reaction is their confirmation that they've succeeded in disrupting your peace. But what happens when you choose not to react? What happens when you decide to step back, remain silent, and let your actions do the talking? This approach is far more powerful. Silence paired with decisive action sends a clear and unshakable message. I will not be moved by your negativity. I choose peace, and I will protect it at all costs. Walking away from conflict without a word can be one of the strongest statements you can make. It shows self-control, maturity, and an unwavering focus on what truly matters. It demonstrates that your energy is too valuable to waste on unnecessary drama or trivial arguments. Instead of engaging in a back and forth that serves no purpose, your silence and distance set the tone. They make it clear that you won't participate in the chaos and that you won't compromise your well-being just to prove a point. This principle also applies when it comes to cutting people off. Sometimes words are necessary. In fact, explaining yourself to someone who doesn't respect your boundaries can feel like a futile exercise. When someone has consistently disrespected you, drained your energy, or added negativity to your life, the best way to send a message isn't through a long conversation or confrontation, is through action. Simply disengage. Withdraw your time, energy, and presence from their space. Let your absence speak for you. The beauty of letting your actions speak lies in its simplicity and effectiveness. There's no room for misinterpretation because actions are clear and intentional. They leave no space for arguments or counterpoints. They show rather than tell how much you value yourself and your peace. In contrast, words can often be twisted, misunderstood, or even dismissed. But when you quietly remove yourself from a situation or relationship that no longer serves you, your message is undeniable. This approach also allows you to maintain your dignity. Reacting to negativity with anger or defensiveness can sometimes lower you to the same level as the person or situation you're dealing with. But when you let your actions take the lead, you rise above. You operate from a place of strength and composure rather than letting someone else dictate your behavior. This doesn't mean avoiding accountability or ignoring important issues. It means choosing a method of response that aligns with your values and prioritizes your mental, emotional well-being. Letting your actions speak also means redirecting your energy toward growth and positivity. Instead of spending your time reacting to someone else's negativity, you focus on building the life you want. You invest in relationships that uplift you, pursuits that inspire you, and environments that bring out the best in you. By shifting your focus away from negativity, you reclaim your power and create space for the things that truly matter. Ultimately, choosing to let your actions speak rather than reacting impulsively is about taking control of your narrative. It's about deciding who and what deserves your energy. It's about protecting your peace, valuing your growth, and moving forward with purpose. So the next time you're faced with a situation that tempts you to react, pause, reflect. And remember that sometimes the loudest message is the one you deliver through your actions. Let your silence, your composure, and your choices do the talking. You'll find that this approach not only preserves your peace, but also commands respect in a way words never could. Protecting your peace and energy is one of the most important decisions you can make for yourself. In a world that constantly pulls you in different directions through challenges, conflicts, and demands on your time, it's easy to lose sight of your own well-being. Many people spend so much of their lives reacting to others, engaging in unnecessary arguments, or trying to please everyone that they leave little space for themselves. But true growth and happiness come when you learn to prioritize your inner peace above everything else. Your energy is a finite resource. Just like physical energy, emotional energy can be drained by constant stress, negativity, and conflict. When you allow yourself to be drawn into situations that don't serve you, whether it's through toxic relationships, unnecessary drama, or trivial disputes, you're essentially giving away pieces of yourself to things that don't matter. Over time, this can leave you feeling depleted, frustrated, and stuck. Protecting your peace means recognizing this pattern and taking intentional steps to break it. One of the most effective ways to protect your peace is by setting boundaries. Boundaries are not about keeping people out. They're about deciding what you will and will not tolerate in your life. When someone consistently disrespects your boundaries or brings negativity into your space, it's a sign that their presence is costing you more than it's worth. This is where the concept of cutting them off comes in, not as an act of anger or retaliation, but as a way of reclaiming your time and energy. Walking away silently and intentionally is a declaration that you value your peace too much to let it be disturbed. Silence, in this context, becomes a tool for self-preservation. It's a way of saying, I won't engage in this negativity. I choose to focus on what's best for me. When you cut someone off silently, you're not giving them the satisfaction of a reaction or an argument. Instead, you're redirecting your energy towards something more productive, more fulfilling. This act of choosing yourself over the chaos is incredibly empowering. It's a reminder that you have control over your life, and you don't have to give anyone the power to disrupt your peace. This doesn't mean the process is always easy. Letting go of people or situations that drain you can be emotionally challenging, especially if you've invested time and effort into those relationships. But protecting your peace is about seeing the bigger picture. It's about recognizing that your mental and emotional health are more important than maintaining connections that no longer serve you. It's about understanding that your peace is the foundation for everything else in your life, your happiness, your success, and your ability to grow. Another important aspect of protecting your peace is learning to say no. Many people struggle with this because they feel obligated to meet others' expectations or avoid conflict. But saying no is not a rejection of others, it's an affirmation of yourself. It's about being honest about your limits and refusing to overextend yourself for the sake of others' convenience. When you say no to things that drain your energy, you're saying yes to your well-being. And when you prioritize your well-being, you're better equipped to show up fully for the things and people that truly matter. Protecting your peace also means being mindful of where you place your focus. It's easy to get caught up in negativity, especially when it's coming from those around you. But you have the power to choose where you direct your attention. Instead of dwelling on conflicts or setbacks, focus on the things that bring you joy and fulfillment. Surround yourself with people who uplift you, environments that inspire you, and activities that recharge you. By doing so, you create a life that supports your peace rather than constantly challenging it. Ultimately, protecting your peace and energy is about honoring yourself. It's about recognizing that you deserve to live a life free from unnecessary stress and negativity. By setting boundaries, saying no, and cutting off toxic influences, you take control of your life and create space for growth, happiness, and fulfillment. Your peace is your responsibility, and there is no greater investment you can make than in your own well-being. Letting go without explanation is one of the most liberating decisions you can make. So often, people feel compelled to justify their actions, to explain their decisions to those around them, even when it's clear that doing so won't change anything. But there's a quiet power in deciding that you don't owe everyone an explanation, especially to those who have shown they don't respect your boundaries or value your presence. Walking away without words isn't about avoiding responsibility or being dismissive. It's about prioritizing your well-being and moving forward without unnecessary conflict. Explanations can often lead to prolonged conversations, debates, or even arguments. When you're dealing with someone who refuses to see your perspective, no amount of explaining will make a difference. Instead, it can trap you in a cycle of defending your actions and reliving the negativity you're trying to leave behind. Letting go silently allows you to break free from this cycle. It removes the need for back and forth exchanges that drain your energy and keeps the focus on what truly matters, your peace and progress. This doesn't mean the process is easy. There's a natural human desire to want to be understood, to feel like our choices are validated by others. But not everyone will understand your journey, and not everyone needs to. Some people are so caught up in their own perspectives that they can't see beyond them. Trying to explain yourself to such individuals can feel like talking to a wall. It's not your job to make them understand. Your job is to do what's best for you, even if that means doing it quietly and without explanation. When you walk away silently, you send a powerful message without saying a word. You show that you're confident in your decisions and that you trust yourself to make the right choices. Silence in this context isn't about ignoring the situation, it's about reclaiming your power. It's about saying, I've made my decision and I don't need your approval or agreement. This kind of self-assurance can be disarming to those who expect an explanation, and it establishes a boundary that is both clear and firm. Choosing to let go without explanation also protects your energy. Explaining yourself requires emotional labor. especially when the other person is resistant to understanding. It forces you to revisit the reasons for your decision, which can be painful or exhausting. By choosing silence, you conserve your energy for more meaningful pursuits. You free yourself from the need to rehash old situations and instead focus on creating a future that aligns with your values and goals. It's also important to recognize that not everyone deserves an explanation. People who have repeatedly disrespected your boundaries, drained your energy, or brought negativity into your life have already shown that they don't prioritize your well-being. Giving them an explanation can feel like giving them more power than they deserve. Instead, let your actions speak for you. By walking away, you're making it clear that the behavior is unacceptable and that you're choosing to protect yourself. Letting go silently is not about avoiding accountability or running away from problems. It's about knowing when a situation is no longer worth your time and effort. It's about recognizing that explanations aren't always necessary, especially when they won't change the outcome. It's about trusting yourself enough to make decisions without needing validation from others. This approach requires courage. It takes strength to let go without looking back, to move forward without feeling the need to justify yourself. But the freedom it brings is worth it. When you stop explaining yourself to those who don't deserve it, you create space for growth, clarity, and peace. You allow yourself to focus on the things that truly matter and to build a life that reflects your values. In the end, letting go without explanation is an act of self-respect. By choosing silence, you reclaim your power and take a step toward a life of greater freedom and fulfillment. Trust yourself, walk away with confidence, and let your actions speak louder than any words ever could. Disengaging without confrontation is not just an art. It is a skill that can transform how you approach conflict and negativity in your life. It requires understanding the value of your energy and mastering the strength it takes to step away peacefully. So often, people are taught that standing up for themselves means meeting fire with fire, reacting to every provocation, or proving their point no matter the cost. But this approach can leave you drained, stuck in endless cycles of conflict that take more from you than they give. True strength is found not in how loudly you speak or react, but in the grace and composure with which you disengage. Walking away without confrontation does not mean you are weak or that you are avoiding responsibility. On the contrary, it shows a deep understanding of your worth and the ability to prioritize your mental well-being over temporary victories in arguments. It's about choosing your peace over proving a point. Every time you engage in unnecessary confrontation, you give a piece of your energy to someone or something that may not deserve it. This energy could instead be used for personal growth, self-care, or pursuits that genuinely enrich your life. Disengaging quietly sends a powerful message that doesn't need words. It communicates that you refuse to stoop to negativity, that you value your time and peace too much to waste them on trivial conflicts. This approach is particularly effective when dealing with individuals who thrive on confrontation. These people often provoke reactions as a way to draw you into their chaos. By refusing to engage, you deny them the satisfaction of your reaction, leaving them with nothing to fuel their behavior. It disarms them completely and leaves you with your peace intact. This process also allows you to maintain your dignity. Confrontations, especially heated ones, often lead to things being said or done that are later regretted. Words spoken in anger can damage relationships, reputations, and even your own sense of self. By choosing to disengage instead, you avoid these pitfalls. You maintain control over your emotions and actions, ensuring that you stay true to yourself and your values. It's a way of asserting your strength without aggression, showing that you don't need to raise your voice to be heard or respected. Learning to disengage without confrontation is also an act of self-discipline. It's natural to want to defend yourself when you feel wronged or attacked, but reacting impulsively often plays into the hands of those looking to provoke you. Pausing, taking a breath, and choosing to walk away instead takes strength and practice. Over time, this practice helps you develop emotional resilience and a deeper sense of control over your life. You become less reactive and more intentional in how you respond to challenges, which ultimately empowers you to navigate life with greater ease and confidence. Disengaging doesn't mean suppressing your feelings or pretending a problem doesn't exist. It means addressing situations on your own terms and in a way that prioritizes your well-being. Sometimes the best response is no response at all, particularly when dealing with toxic individuals or situations that won't change regardless of what you say or do. By stepping away, you create space for yourself to heal, reflect, and grow without the added stress of unnecessary conflict. This approach also encourages you to focus on what truly matters. When you let go of the need to confront every issue, you free up energy and time for more meaningful pursuits. You can invest in relationships that uplift you, goals that inspire you, and environments that nurture your growth. Disengaging isn't about running away, it's about walking towards something better, toward a life of peace, clarity, and fulfillment. In the end, disengaging without confrontation is about protecting your energy and choosing your battles wisely. It's about understanding that not every situation deserves your attention and that sometimes the strongest thing you can do is walk away. By doing so, you reclaim your power, maintain your peace, and set the tone for a life built on strength and intentionality. In conclusion, remember that true strength lies not in reacting to every situation, but in choosing how and when to engage. By cutting off negativity silently, choosing to protect your peace, and letting your actions speak louder than words, you empower yourself to live a life focused on growth, clarity, and emotional balance. Disengaging from conflict and walking away without confrontation is a powerful practice that preserves your energy and allows you to prioritize what truly matters. It's a journey of mastering self-control, setting healthy boundaries, and embracing your worth. As you move forward, take these lessons with you, remembering that your peace is invaluable and worth protecting at all costs. Trust in yourself, trust in your choices, and continue to grow into the person you are meant to be. Thank you for listening, and good luck on your path of strength, peace, and personal growth.